What's up, y'all? This is BP.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Star Child.
It's your boy, Kid Dream. What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to Gamer Credits. This is going to be Season 3, Level 10. Let's introduce the players. Player 1, BP.
Yo, kid, let's get it, man.
What'd you say?
You didn't hear anything I said?
He said, woo, woo.
Okay, let me try again. Yo, kid. Good, man. Happy New Year to you.
Happy New Year to you and everyone else as well.
Wonderful, man. That's great.
Oh, boy. All right.
I'd be worried over here because I don't know if my mic cut out or what. So that's
No, you sound good. You sound good. I just didn't hear the last part.
that.
He said, woo, woo. That's what happened.
I didn't say that, but hey, we'll go for that. We'll go.
Okay, so it wasn't just me then. Thank God.
I tell you, man, I hate y'all.
Speaking of hating people, player number 2. Star Child.
Yikes. Wow.
Dang, man. Just throw it, man, out there like that.
Just threw me out there. Oh, what's going on? What's going on, everybody?
It's going to be that kind of episode.
I think it is. I
mean, once we get into the heated topic, I guess the audience will know why he said what he said.
Oh, true.
And Happy New Year.
Nice.
I like that. And of course, we have player 3, Kid Dream. So before we hop into these wonderful topics that we have today, does anybody have a gaming moment of the week to share?
Okay. Well, do we know where the stars going with this? Do we even have to wait around?
Even in 2024, nothing's changed. You can go.
Oh man. Okay. All right.
So no New Year's resolutions. I'm playing more games, nothing like that.
Oh, my resolution is completely not even related to games. But
okay.
All right. That's a great start.
We'll leave that alone. So gaming moment. Yeah. I beat Sifu. But before we, before you get too excited or whatever, be like, oh, great, congratulations. I have a confession on that. I actually downgraded the difficulty to, I think, student from standard. So yeah, it got easier. It was still difficult, but it was manageable enough for me to beat it. So
nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy any part of the game? Because you sounded like you were very frustrated.
Dang.
At first. And after a while, when I learned how the mechanics work a little bit better, I think my biggest hang up was the dodge function. Once I started getting that down and understanding that a little bit more, it became a little bit more of a cakewalk. In some regards, I shouldn't say fully a cakewalk, but it just got a little bit better, like the concept of me understanding it. But I will say, when I went back to standard, because I kind of was feeling myself after beating it, like, all right, cool, I got standard now, whatever. And nah, that didn't happen. Still got stomped to the ground. And yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and then I started Red Dead Redemption 2, which I talked to a kid about that earlier.
Okay.
Off air, of course. But yeah, that's it's pretty good. I've talked to him about me and my thing with Westerns. So it's kind of a struggle in some regards, but the gameplay is solid enough to where I'm actually still getting into it. So.
Okay. Well, congrats, sir. Congrats. I mean, you did say that was your gaming moment. I still didn't hear what the actual moment was in actually beating.
Said he beat it.
But what's the moment? What did the game, not spoilers, but what did you feel like winning it? I just want some excitement. No, man. Hey, man, that was your level of the excitement from it. Then I accept it. I'm sorry.
I mean, dang. What was your gaming moment at, sir?
Ooh,
hey,
I'm waiting on that one.
Hey, you know what? I need to prepare for this, so let's go with the next episode for me to give out that.
All right, y'all heard it here first. Next episode, he's going to have a gaming moment that won't be Destiny or Overwatch.
I like you put those standards out there. That's what I'm talking about.
Won't be Destiny or Overwatch. Something different.
Put those conditions out there.
You can't limit me like this. That's a limit.
Bro, you limit yourself. All right, there's better
Yeah, we're
games
not.
out there.
That's right, man. The 2024 is going to be the year that we break all limits.
Okay.
It's not 2014, 2015 anymore. Overwatch is over with. Play something else, please.
Dang.
Please.
All right, what's your
Savage
gaming
time, boy.
moment, kid? Let's move on.
So I actually have a gaming moment. You know,
Mhm.
I think I mentioned this on the last episode, but I ended up picking up Alan Wake 2 because it was on a pretty good sale. So in that time, I actually started back up and finished Alan Wake 1 because I wanted to kind of prepare myself again for the story because I played it many, many years ago, so I didn't really remember it. And then just recently, actually, I started Alan Wake 2, and I believe the hype. I definitely believe the hype. I think the game is honestly phenomenal. It is extremely terrifying. This game loves its jump scares. Like, oh man, it's always doing these stupid jump scares. It's fun, but I think they do a really good job with it. It it's all over the place, bro. I don't know if how much of the Game Awards y'all watched or how much you paid attention. There was a section during the Game Awards where they just started like singing and dancing. I didn't get it at first. I was like, "What are they doing?" And it was like Alan Wake or whatever themed. Turns out that's actually a section in the game where there's just like a musical number, and it's
Oh.
it, it's phenomenal, bro. It's I couldn't stop
Phenomenal.
laughing. I couldn't. I didn't want it to end. It was just a very fun and crazy experience, man. The game is just all over the place, but in like a good way. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Okay.
So, just so I'm clear, you said a musical breakout,
There is a musical breakout section. Yes,
and you said shortly after that it was phenomenal.
it, it's actually
'Cause I'm
done
trying
really
to.
well.
Oh, okay.
It's,
Because I've, I hear musical and I'm like, I don't see how, except for like a few instances out there where a musical was actually done phenomenally. But that's just my opinion, though. That's my
they
opinion.
they do a good job. It's something you just have to play and experience, and just go through in the moment because it. Trust me, it sounds weird saying it, and when I heard about it, I was like, it sounds weird and dumb. But when you actually like play it, it's a really fun time. Like it's, I just couldn't stop laughing and like looking around and just like trying to take it all in. Pause.
Eh,
Wow.
That was a good pause, man. But no. So
it made me go and question and like, what am I playing right now? Like, how is this the same game I was playing, like doing things 30 minutes ago compared to what I'm doing now? Like, what is this?
So basically from your experience going back, you probably would. It's safe to say you would make different decisions when it came to the Game Award predictions.
Nope.
Huh? Like you would give it.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Nah.
So it's not that good, apparently.
I understand why it won like best narrative and some other categories and stuff like that, and it's definitely a great game. Baldur's Gate 3 is still phenomenal in my opinion. Still
Got it.
still way above it.
Okay, glad you put that out there, sir.
But I understand why it was nominated for so many categories now. I believe the hype. I believe the hype. Definitely worth checking out. They do a really good job because it's, you get to play as Alan Wake, the main character, and then from the first game, and then this new character, Saga Anderson, who's an FBI agent. And they both have unique like a characteristic to them that you can kind of do, like just to touch on it very, very briefly. The FBI agent, you kind of piece together the mystery. So like how a detective has like that detective board and has like the lines going to like the people and the clues and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It has a system like that where you kind of got to put the clues together. Really, it's not like super complicated or anything, but it's pretty fun to do. And then Alan Wake has a thing where he's a writer, so you go into like a writer's room and you actually can like change the environment to fit the story to be how you need it to be to progress the level. So it's really interesting how they kind of separate the two characters.
Got it. So, question: do you have a timestamp of when that musical takes place in the story?
Pretty
Oh yeah.
pretty early on, maybe like 7 hours in, probably.
Okay. So I'm gonna
skip
make a
in the
note of
7th
this.
hour.
But
Yep.
okay,
I didn't say I
actually,
was gonna skip it, but
okay. I'm gonna be. It's hard to really give a timestamp because you
depends
after a
on your gameplay.
while but you have the ability to play the story in whichever order how you want. So you can play Saga story, you can play Alan's story, you can choose kind of, and you can at any safe room you can go and pretty much switch to the other person's story at that point in time.
Gotcha.
So you could probably get there sooner if when you get that option if you play as Alan first. I was the way the story made it seem like it was like pointing you towards Saga story first, so I kind of went down that path. But you definitely could immediately switch to Alan and get to that point probably faster than I did.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay, well, all right. So I'll
It's
say
you got to experience it.
4 to 7 hours. I'll make a note of that. So okay, cool. I just have to prepare myself because me and musicals, we just don't get along.
You'll know it's coming. You'll know it's coming. But it's
Got it.
if you don't like it, I would be very curious to hear that. It's
Yeah, but I'll give it a shot. Everything's worth giving a shot. So
all right. Speaking of giving a shot, now I'm bumping. I'm just going to go right into it.
Okay.
Star gave a really terrible take, and I want to bring that to the attention. I just can't hold it in anymore. Star has been mentioning because I don't know if you guys know, but Halo season 2, the TV show, is actually coming out next month. February 8th.
Yay.
Oof.
I think you're the only person in the world saying that. You seem to be one of the only few people in the world who actually enjoyed the show.
I don't think so. It got season 2.
I mean, a lot of things get sequels, and probably shouldn't get sequels. So I wouldn't really go based off that.
Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
I mean, I'm just saying. I mean,
All right.
Well, so anyway, I guess take it from your Star. I don't know what else to follow up with. I mean,
yeah, Star, go ahead, man.
Without giving a review of the show, because I would like for everybody to have their own formed opinions on things by experiencing it themselves. I will only say go watch season 1 on Paramount. We're not getting paid for that plug, but it's an amazing show. I am not a big fan of Halo, so my take on the show is not based on my love for the game. My take on the show is based on the fact that it's a great written sci-fi story that seems to fit the Halo franchise without having to, copy the exact video game lore just for it to be a TV series. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the acting. I enjoy the action. Some of the animation can get a little shaky, but I'm okay with that. But it's a great story. It is well written. The action, the actors, the actresses, everything about the show works well. So I'm excited for season 2.
all right.
I'm more interested on the take that you gave earlier.
Uh-oh.
What was the take?
You basically stated because we were saying how well, I won't throw BP in there too. Cause I wasn't sure if you feel the same, but I know I was mentioning that it's Halo. I want action. I want Master Chief killing Covenant. I want to see action. That's what Halo is. And you were saying you kind of disagree and everything like that. And you basically came to the conclusion that people wouldn't want to see stories already told in the game. Is that correct?
So you're trying to throw me under the bus without throwing me under the bus. I get it. So I kind of did say, but not that way. So I felt like when they were making this game, making the show, they weren't making the game. They weren't trying to replicate the success of the game. They just needed to use the Master Chief and his background to kind of give us this character in this story that we can follow, because if you watch the show, you will become invested. You will become invested in this person's well-being, because there's a lot of stuff and again, I don't want to spoil anything for people. They should witness and experience it themselves. A lot of twists and turns, a lot of deception, a lot of sacrifices. It can emotionally drive you in this story. I did not get that reaction playing the Halo 2 or Halo 3 or watching any of the stories from the cutscenes in the game. So they did a great job on making this more realistic for humanity, I guess. I don't know, man. That's my take.
So that kind of answered my question already. I was going to ask you that. Like, did you ever play the Halo game? And if so, like, how closely were you following that story of the games?
Yes, 2 and 3 I played, but mainly if I was curious to figure out what 4 was about or 5 or any other who knows what else spinoffs, I did go and watch cutscenes and stuff from YouTube or get someone to do a review on it. I did not play any of the later ones. I stuck with just loving the multiplayer. I think most people have because the story to me I didn't care about when I played Halo. Yeah, I apologize.
No, but here's the thing. This is important because I think this is ultimately what kind of sets the stage of the conversation here, right? Is that you found interest in this mainly because it had no kind of tie to what you were aware of in regards to the game. You know,
correct.
the game
I have zero. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. And so the reason why, because this is why I take issue with, and this kind of goes not just with video games, but just movies in general. The best example I can give at this point is the Cloverfield paradox, where these people take a known franchise, a known name, and literally slap it on a movie that has really pretty much nothing to do with that title, that beloved franchise, just for the sake of getting butts and seats or get views. And I have a problem with it because it's like, you don't have to, I don't see why you have to do that. Like, I get the fact that you're like, well, we really have to think of an appeal. And I'm like, but you can spend time finding a different angle or a different way to get people, get people to watch your movie or to watch your media. Like, you don't have to say, oh, let's find some kind of title out there. Oh, wait, Halo, or oh, wait, Cloverfield. Cloverfield's hot right now, right? Let's go ahead and slap that on that mug and have everybody come in and tune in. Like, that's a problem for me because that really doesn't mesh well with what's already been established. Because it's one thing if you're telling like not separate story, but it's one thing if you're telling like an additional story. Maybe you're telling like kind of like a side character story. That's one thing. But if you're going in a direction where you're like, yeah, we're all that stuff that to come to love and all that lore, all those characters, all the development, you can forget all that. We're going to tell it our way.
I can say this much. That's not what happened. There's certain things that does not follow. Listen, I watched the show. Can you say the same?
Does he take his helmet off? Does he take his helmet off?
Can
you see his face?
Let me explain this. That's not part of the story of Halo. That's part of the lore of Master Chief. The story has not changed that much. That's why I'm trying to make sure I can clarify that. The story is still Halo. The issue that I think people have is with their mascot. They feel that he's not being represented correctly on the big screen. That part I can understand your critique, but when you're critiquing the actual story and the action and the actors, then that's when I'm like, watch the show because it's better than what you're making it out not to be.
Well, to be fair, I don't think about critiquing the actors. I just think that they're critiquing the direction of the show. And to another point, because one of the biggest things I heard was that sometimes I think a good portion of the show wasn't even really focused on Master Chief, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I watched the show. It is focused on Master Chief.
No, because there was I can't remember the woman's name.
Sir,
do you remember?
Cortana?
Sir, do you know me?
Cortana. It was another one.
I'm saying
the doctor.
No. It was another character that people were literally complaining about. I can't remember her name right now, but they were complaining that the whole focus was mainly about her and her whole backstory, and it was like nobody asked for that.
The person Master Chief has sex with, because for some reason,
no, it's not. Excuse me, audience. I'm the current expert on the Halo TV show, and I am trying to. Yes, I watched it. I watched the whole season. Y'all have it. I'm the expert on this show.
Though. Like you sometimes you have to watch it a couple more times.
Listen, I'm just saying on the level of what y'all two know versus what I currently know, because I watched it, I'm the expert. And I'm letting you know that everything you're saying is incorrect.
Well, here's the thing. What you watched can still be a subjective matter. Like you watched it based on what you're interpreting.
I'm not being subjective about liking the show. I'm just saying if someone claimed that the show main focus was not on Master Chief.
No, I didn't say whole show. I said it's part of the show.
That's what I'm saying. There's multiple characters that you have to build backgrounds to so you can understand how to become emotionally involved with the story. That's how you have to translate things to TV versus video games. But what I'm trying to say is
Mhm.
Master Chief is the focused. It gets crazy. It gets really crazy how they made this story work well for TV. Like that's what I'm about to try to just get that out there because the bots and everybody that likes to be on the internet and basically be negative because that gets them more of the emotional responses. I don't buy it because everything that's being said, they wouldn't have a season 2. So there's something being done right.
So I want to piggyback off what you mentioned earlier, BP, because
Okay.
it's a really important thing, and unfortunately, a lot of these studios and companies aren't paying attention and listening, and
Mhm.
they wonder why these shows flop. Especially if you're going to take source material from like a video game, it's really important to be faithful to the source material because, especially for games that have been around for so long, a great example is The Witcher, the
I
Netflix
was just about
show.
to think, yeah, I knew you were
Um,
going. Yep.
and it frustrates me so freaking much. They did the best job casting Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia, The Witcher. He is a nerd. He has played the games. He has read the books. He builds PCs. He is one of the biggest nerds I've ever seen. He was the perfect choice to play this character. And the whole time they were making this show, up until his departure, he kept saying, "Hey guys, maybe we should be a little more faithful to the source material. We have the information; it's out there. People love it. Probably should stick with that." The whole time, Netflix was saying, "Nah, we're gonna go this direction." And what happened? Viewership plummeted, season after season, part after part. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know how well this next season is gonna do because now you don't even have Henry Cavill anymore in the show, and so it's just eh, I think you have to walk a thin line when you, as a video game or when you are making an adaptation from a video game, because you have, especially for these story-rich games, a lot of information out there, a lot of lore, and you have to handle that very carefully. And I think a show that did it amazingly was The Last of Us. It took that same story that what happens in the beginning and what happens at the end, and what it did was it just added some more context to maybe explain a little bit more why this happened, why that happened, develop maybe
Mhm.
some more characters here and there, but it still told you that story, sometimes word for word, but for the most part in its own unique way. It was a slightly different, but you could still pull up a comparison of the game and then the show at the same time. And sometimes it would kind of be in sync. So there's a very careful way to kind of go about doing it. Unfortunately, a lot of companies kind of drop the ball, and it looks like for a lot of people, granted not Star, but for a lot of people, Halo dropped the
You keep
ball.
saying a lot of people, but I don't have any actual people on here who saw the show that can be part of that equation. So if you're going by online, can't believe everything online because most people online just want to be heard. So they say whatever flows what everybody else wants to say. I'm just saying I experienced the show. I'm just saying just be open minded and experience it yourself before you make any concrete decisions. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I watched enough of it to where I was like, "Nah, I'm good." But listen, I respect this Star. Like the thing is, I'll say this. Like, well, even with going back to like looking at the Resident Evil movie that came out, right? With I can't never remember her name. Mila, is it Mila Jovovich? I never can remember
You
her name.
close, yeah.
I never, and I hate to butcher her name. So my apologies to her. But anyway, the funny thing is that I like it as much as I like that movie. I can still understand why a lot of people didn't. Because a lot of what they did with it really strayed away from the actual story and the lore itself. Except for like some parts, obviously with the zombies and I think like maybe a monster or two. But overall, like when you look at it, it has really no bearing on the essence of Resident Evil.
You
As you know
sure?
it in the game.
It had the
Not
same
really,
bad acting as in Resident Evil 1. I felt
dang,
sir.
dang.
You're reaching fighting territory.
Hey,
Okay,
hey, I wouldn't call that bad acting. There's some memorable quotes in that
that
game,
was
bro.
memorable quotes, man. Listen, and
You
that's
were
the kind of
almost a
bad acting.
Jill sandwich.
Thank you, thank you so much for that, kid. That's listen,
Listen, the
that's bad
acting in Resident
acting.
Evil,
Yeah,
mm, masterpiece.
I'm about to say that's
Mm,
right. That's masterful bad acting, sir. Okay, like that
okay,
will always get a
okay.
That's
pass.
It's the room level of acting.
Oh my gosh. Hey, it's so funny. I know I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I watched that. I don't know if you ever watched that movie, Disaster Artist. Sorry, Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
I heard of it, have not yet.
Oh, real quick, just y'all have to watch that. Like that, it just because I never watched The Room, and I only knew of it from what Kid was telling me, and I was like, I don't know if I ever want to see that because it seems
Have y'all
ridiculous.
Y'all still
But
never
yeah.
seen The Room?
I have not. Well, let me say this: I've seen maybe about 20 minutes worth of it. I just never finished the whole thing.
Okay.
But when I saw the Disaster Artist, oh my gosh, like it, yeah, it's something that I'm like, I definitely gotta watch the whole thing now.
All right. Side note, I'm gonna have to invite y'all over one day, and we gotta watch The Room. Phenomenal movie, 10 out of 10.
That's fair. We kind of have our arrangement for that, bad movies and stuff that we share. So.
Great movies. Hold on. Oh, bad.
Oh no, you're right. Because Birdemic was a great movie. Yeah.
Even you couldn't keep a straight face. I can see your face when you were saying that. Wow.
Hey man, look, you want to go back into fighting territory about this? We done been through this. That was a great movie. Birdemic. Hey, I need y'all to back me up out there. Birdemic was great, phenomenal. Anyway, I know we got so sidetracked. So what were we talking about? Resident Evil.
Evil.
So I just brought that up because I loved it. Right, I liked it for what it had, like what it presented on screen. But I can still admit to the fact that it really wasn't true to the source material that much in that many ways, and I can definitely see how people had an issue with it. So I just say that because I don't want you to feel like because we have an issue with the Halo series that takes away from what you enjoyed about it. You know what I'm saying? Sorry.
Yeah. All right. Hey, I'm trying not to be combative.
In other words, just keep enjoying it. Just keep enjoying it, man. That's all. Like we said our piece. You said your piece.
Yeah.
You enjoy it. We will stay away. So,
well, unfortunately, Star. As much as I would like to watch it, I probably would never watch it. Only because it's on Paramount, and
that's right. I don't even have Paramount. Right.
I'm not signing up for another subscription service, so it's.
Yeah, I let mine cancel out.
I can log you under my account, man.
Oh no!
It's
you gonna make it happen. Better move on to the next topic.
We have some great news to announce for the world, everybody.
Wait,
Bobby Kotick is no longer at Activision.
Oh man, you threw that out there, man. I'm not even ready. Hold up, man. Let's get. Yeah, we need celebrations. We need all this. F that guy.
Piece of garbage.
I know.
Known as Bobby. No longer working at the company.
Can we be very careful without trying to damage the person's name?
Hell no. He already did that himself.
He's when you have people, your assistant, you threaten to kill your assistant, allegedly,
Mm-hmm.
This use the A word.
All the accusations going on at the company, it's, I think he has bigger problems to worry about. Yeah. Well, I guess really not him anymore, since he's not there anymore. Thank God.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, he had to go, man. It was long overdue. So super happy about that.
The unfortunate thing is that it's probably a lot of corruption at the top. Of course, he was at the very top, but I'm sure there's other executives there who probably honestly needs to go. Probably the whole executive team just needs to go away because it's like
probably a decent amount of them. Probably.
Yeah, it's like, come on, like it's pretty bad. But I'm hoping not only with Bobby no longer being there, and now with the Xbox acquisition, I'm hoping for a positive change for the company. Obviously, you have the human element of the people and the awful conditions that they were under, and I hope things get better for them as as people, because they make these products and services that we play and utilize, and so obviously I want them to be treated fairly, treated like people, and not get assaulted at work and crazy stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm also hopeful and excited for the future of their games, and not only of course the obvious of, hey, maybe these will come to Game Pass, that'll be dope, but maybe they can get back into, hey, let's make games and not credit card swipers to just get money from you. Hopefully.
Yeah, I just had a terrifying thought, man. Wouldn't it be
What's that?
crazy if he ended up heading over to PlayStation as a new CEO?
Oh yeah, they do have it open.
I shudder at that, man. Oh God, man. But I mean, I don't see how that would happen. But man, imagine, bro. Yikes.
That would be terrifying, actually.
So that's one of my fears is like he'll end up going to another,
R.
company and
Hey man,
doing it.
what if it
R.
wasn't him or was this the environment that he was around? Maybe if he goes somewhere else and do a better job.
I mean,
You're
I want to be
funny.
optimistic about it, but I don't know what the hell,
Oh,
man.
you're
That history is
funny.
strong.
Okay.
And not only that, but then, you have history of other, and again, this is not to say him exactly, but I'm just saying you have a pattern of other CEOs like this that have left, gone somewhere else, and ended up being like history repeating itself. So I
That's
don't have a
smart.
lot of hope. What's that?
Maybe he won't go to PlayStation. He'll go to Nintendo instead.
Ooh. Oh, why would you do that, sir? Now that's just
That's mean.
Hey man, he can go to any Nintendo branch, but he's not gonna be allowed in Nintendo Japan. That ain't happening.
Yeah, he ain't getting there. He ain't getting there, boy. I tell you that.
I got dead on arrival just then. Okay.
Nah, but yeah, he is no longer with the company. So we'll see what happens. I don't think they've announced the next CEO, unless I just overlooked it. I don't.
I really
know
hope
who
I
they
didn't
are.
put that. I really hope I didn't put that bad juju out there in the world. So I apologize, y'all. Like to everybody. If that happens, I'm so sorry. Like I will just leave the internet forever or something. I don't know.
I think PlayStation is smarter than that. I think they know all the negative press that would come with hiring him.
Yeah.
I just
They got enough troubles to think about now. So you're right.
Speaking of troubles in PlayStation, y'all ready to play some Last of Us Factions multiplayer?
Yeah, man, sure.
Y'all ready to play some?
It's gonna cost $100.
Oh, wait a minute. It doesn't cost anything because it's canceled.
Oh.
Oops. Yeah, just out of nowhere. It's like a Wednesday night or something. PlayStation Thursday night. PlayStation just dropped the blog and was like, yeah, Last of Us multiplayer is canceled.
Yeah, so I mean, how do you feel, kid, about that? I mean, kind of looking forward to it a little bit, or what do you feel? What's your thoughts?
I am extremely disappointed. I unfortunately was not one of the people who was playing factions. They, when it first came out, The Last of Us, when that came out originally. But I remember hearing a lot of really good things about it, and so when I heard that they were making, it sounded really cool and unique. And when I heard that they were making a multiplayer for an updated version for part 2, I was excited. I was like, "Bet that's dope! I would love to play some multiplayer. It's a great way to kind of keep the game going and will be fun to do." I was just shocked that when they made that announcement, it just kind of came out of nowhere. And I mean, I guess sure we never saw anything from it, so maybe the writing was a little on the wall potentially. We never saw any gameplay, any teasers or anything like that. Never had a concrete release window or anything, but it just, honestly, bro, another L for Naughty Dog. They have not been the best company the past few years. Starting with part 2, I think their storytelling has just went down the drain ever since then. And so I was hoping this could be a fun way to kind of get back into Naughty Dog, and here they are disappointing me. So I guess what do you next?
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, I'll say this: like, it is disappointing, but at the end of the day, if it was gonna just be a pile of garbage when it came out and another like live service cash grab that people just hated from the ground up, it's for the best, I mean, I hate it for them because I know that's a lot of wasted time and resources, especially for developers. How mad that some of them got to be on that front. They're like, hey man, all this time we put in and you're gonna do this. But like I said, at the end of the day, it could have just been worse, and they released it as is, and people would look like, what is this crap? Like, this is nothing what we remember. And so it's but to your point, Naughty Dog has been taking quite a bit of a curve down, man, over some time now. And it's unfortunate because I think back to when they were really strong, and I remember having friends back then like, man, Naughty Dog can't miss. They can't ever miss. They're doing all these great stuff with Uncharted and and Last of Us, and they're really nailing it. And I look back and I'm like, oh man.
You know what it reminds me of?
With that
Bethesda. Because there was a while people were saying the same thing. Bethesda can't miss. They're putting out banger after banger, a great company. And then Fallout 76.
It's just one of those. It's one of those. It's one of those things where a company I think they just become really big, too big, or whatever, and get too infamous, and it just goes downhill, man. Like you mentioned, Bethesda. I think of Activision for way back in the days when Activision, was pretty decent. Like as far as the games they came out with. Let me be clear about that. But just like who was the other company I was thinking about? I just had it in my head now. I can't remember. Like Bungie, for example. Same thing with them. It's like, Halos and doing all this, and then later on, and it's just it's kind of disheartening a little bit to kind of think about it. But at the end of the day, what goes up must come down at some point. So
it sucks, man.
It does suck. Yeah, make no mistake about that.
I agree with both sides.
I love the question mark sound at the end. I agree with both of y'all because I don't care. No, I'm kidding.
I know you probably didn't play Last of Us because single player.
Yeah,
but you should, hey, it was multiplayer mode that was coming out. You should. Were you at least a little bit excited because it's multiplayer or not at all?
I mean, would I have been able for all three of us to play at the same time? Then I would have been excited. Yeah,
more than likely, yes.
Because I think that's what's so bad about my memory. I can't remember too much about factions back then, but from what I played of it, I do believe you did have like teams that you grouped up with. I don't know if it was like 4.
Yeah, I don't think it was like big teams, but I think you're right. I think like 4, 5, 6 at the most, maybe. It was more like smaller matches.
Yeah, something to that effect. But yeah, it was still fun. I think you would have liked it. I think you would have liked it, honestly. But
so now I'm angry too.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, it definitely would have been something we all could have played. Granted, I don't know if you would have had to purchase something, or if you own part 2, you could have gotten it. So we didn't really know any details about that, but I'm pretty sure we all could have played together.
Knowing their track record, they probably would have charged you extra.
It might have even been part of the remaster.
That's fair too. Yeah, that's fair.
Depending on how far along it was and when it was ready to come out.
True. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, rest in peace. How we doing on time? You want to do some more nuggets, or do you think we just want to move on to that final topic?
It's the final countdown.
Nice.
With that copyright strike, you better watch out.
Yeah.
Hey man, this is fair use, man. Fair use.
Like that's number 4.
I was about to say, man. I don't know if saying it will just absolve it, but hey, I'm riding with you, Star. I'm riding with you, man. I got you.
True.
But I mean, I guess we could do the main thing, bro. I mean, I don't know what else really to say about Nuggets. I think we covered everything.
What's the main thing? The main thing was E3, right?
No, it was anticipated games 2024.
Oh shoot, we left out E3.
But yeah, I guess we could briefly mention that.
E3,
Unfortunately, I don't know if you heard the news, everybody, but the board that does E3
horrible news.
Yeah, they have come out and said that E3 is officially canceled going forward. So I know.
Are we stuck with Game Awards? The ads? No, that's all we stuck with now. Yeah.
Well, there's still the Summer Game Fest, which is also, funny enough, hosted by Jeff Keighley, the same person who does the Game Awards.
Exactly.
And, we've seen in this new digital age, more and more companies do their own individual directs, if you want to call them. Nintendo has their Nintendo Direct. Xbox has Inside, or whatever they called it. Inside the developer. I don't know what they called it. PlayStation has something. What do they call PlayStation?
PlayStation Experience.
State of Play. There we go. State of Play. Yeah.
I think Experience was when it used to be back with the theater stuff. I think. I don't.
It was amazing. Yeah.
So it's it's definitely unfortunately a little outdated, E3 itself, but yeah, they've officially confirmed it's not coming back ever.
They were not outdated. Can we really get into the idea behind E3? I know we won't take too long on this, but E3 was based on the directors, the creators, everybody from the industry coming together and just meeting up, sharing thoughts, being able to networking. It's still a thing that needs to happen today, but I think COVID and a lot of different things that kind of put people away from being in crowds hurt that type of setup that they were trying to go with. So I mean, it didn't outdate itself. It would still be workable, but pandemic came in and changed the dynamics on how that type of crowd thing works these days.
Well, it's funny you say that because to piggyback off what you're saying, I think what might have done it in too is just the fact that the shift became more and more towards the full presentation online or like via. Well, I don't know if they did it in theater. Did they? Did they do theater showings at E3 ever? I
Nah,
don't think they
maybe,
ever did.
maybe, but no, I
I
can't
think,
think of any.
yeah, I think it was always online from what I remember. From what, or maybe it's on TV. I don't know. I can't remember any of that.
It
But
was definitely on
I
TV.
just like didn't G4 or something like that do it at some
They
point?
Yeah,
covered, they
they
Cover
used
covered
to
it.
something?
cover it.
Okay. But I'm just the reason I say all that because getting what you said, because the root of it was an expo. It was like you said, it was networking. It was a chance for developers and directors and all the people who were in that industry to get together and kind of experience what each other had cooking and learn of some of the announcements that maybe the rest of the world wouldn't hear yet. But once it started, I think pushing more towards the presentation of online and maybe being covered on TV by like via like G4, I think that's where it kind of got painted into like a corner because
Mhm.
as technology advanced and you were able to get things more accessible yourself via Google search, then that's where, to me, that's where I was like, the writing was on the wall for me when I looked at E3 from like a long time ago. It's like, yeah, I just don't see how they're going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, man, I still miss it. I know when PlayStation pulled out and then Nintendo pulled out, I figured, okay, well, we won't have, the actual console gamers in E3, but we could still see what developers are making. Like I felt like E3 still had a chance, but it's part of my teenage years. I like E3 was high school and up. Like it was an amazing time for me when that happened. Like gaming
Yeah.
awards, I
Mhm.
don't feel as excited about it because the ones I've experienced don't have the same energy. I mean, yeah, Keanu Reeves can get on stage and say, "Yeah, you're beautiful," but that wasn't about a game. I mean, I felt like I wanted to see a lot of gameplay, a lot of new gimmicks. I wanted to see gaming stuff, not celebrities and commercials. So I miss E3.
Kind of,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of just like how back in the days you can go to a GameStop and just really be
Yes.
like wholly just submerged into that atmosphere, all the different games, and not to mention the old school games
Used to
that you
be
can
fun.
play.
Used
Yeah,
to be
yeah, and
Going to
then
fun.
GameStop.
then it slowly just turned into. I won't even say slowly, but it just turned into more and more of a. Hey, would you want to pre-order this, or you want to like trade this in, or do this? It's like just yeah,
When I
it's
had the
just a whole
disc
different thing.
protection for $5 extra.
Yeah, right. That too. Yep. Good point. Yeah, it's just man, far cry
Yeah.
from what it was, man. I think that's just the whole point of the sad thing about the corporatizing, man. It's just
Yeah.
once it gets income revenue driven, man, like to an extreme, it's just it's a sad day.
And this is where Star and I actually agree. I will miss E3. It was always nice. As they like to call it, Christmas in the summer for gamers.
Hmm.
It was fun to always tune in the summer to kind of just have like a couple of days of just a celebration of games and just to see what's new, what's up and coming, and just take place in the moment. It was just a good time. It was some big
Yeah.
announcements that came out of E3, and I just always enjoy just sitting down and just watching the conferences and just seeing what companies have. And obviously there's some funny and cringy moments,
Of
with like
course, man. Yeah.
celebrities and stuff like they brought in and everything. But
Hmm.
especially some of like the older ones, like like the Xbox and the Connect and stuff.
Hey, man.
You leave that connect alone, man.
Let's go to YouTube and watch one of those moments now. Yeah.
I actually used to
Well,
watch like cringy moments on E3. Funny enough, Ubisoft has some of the most cringiest moments. It's quite hilarious when they used to have E3 conferences. So I'll
yeah,
forever miss it. And
yeah.
the good thing is that we do have other substitutes. Like I said earlier, Summer Game Fest, companies doing their own individual showcase and stuff like that. But it'll always have a place in my heart.
It's no
Yeah.
competition like it used to be because in E3 they would say, okay, well this year PlayStation has the biggest little location or little I don't know floor, and then next year Microsoft is like, nah, F PlayStation, we're gonna have the biggest floor. Then Nintendo comes out with this unknown surprise, and they get all the attention while they got the bigger floors. So like I used to miss those moments. Like it's never going to be that again with these separate companies doing their own thing because they're not going to want to compete with each other. They don't care no more about each other. They're like, I'm me. I'm Nintendo. I'm PlayStation. They act like they don't even work together anymore. Like they all have their own exclusives now. Like no one is. It's no networking, even though of course there is networking, but it doesn't feel that way to the public anymore. It's like everybody's on their own corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, listen, I mean, if my soul hadn't already died back when Toys R Us got shut down, I would be right there with you guys. But ever since that time, man, I've been like, whatever.
Yeah, I missed that place too. I understand.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. I was like, oh.
All right, done with the E3 stuff. Moving on.
Yeah,
Nice.
to get past the sadness.
And let's look to the future. Let's talk about our most anticipated games of 2024 because we're finally in the new year. 2023 was a killer year for games, bro. We had banger after banger after banger, and it's looking like 2024 might be another good year for games. I know to kind of start it off, and one of the biggest ones actually, and I'm really happy this actually comes out next month. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
Oh,
Okay.
right. Yeah. That came out all
right.
kinds of bad.
Final Fantasy.
All
Yeah.
right.
You know.
No, I like Final Fantasy. That came out bad.
So this is part 2 to the remake. I don't think this will be the end of 7. I think there's probably going to be a part 3. BP, you might know a little bit more since you've actually played the original and know the story, but from what my understanding, this is just like part 2 and there is going to be another part at some point.
I would imagine so. I mean, the original one was 3 disc. It had it's hard for me to say because I don't know where exactly the story is going to be set for Rebirth. And that's also in part because I never finished the first remake. So yeah,
I will tell you.
Yeah. That's not good, man. You're having to pause.
Well, so there's a spoiler in the game, but I'm like, at the same time, this game is 30 years old at this point. Like, so is it? If you haven't played it, you haven't played it. That's on you. That part with that character.
Yeah, man, the very same.
All right, Sephiroth coming down from the sky.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm talking about? Without being too spoilery.
I'm trying to remember
coming down from the sky.
Are we playing charades?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm about to just say it if y'all ain't picking up what I'm putting.
Hey man, we already put spoiler alert out there, so hey, anybody out there,
right.
Just fast forward a little bit, whatever. We're past that point.
So you know how Aerith dies?
Yeah.
The trailer that came out, I don't know if it's the Game Awards, whatever the last trailer that they showed off, it looks like that scene is going to be in this game.
Okay.
So I go back and watch that now?
Yeah.
So,
if you watch it, it looks like that scene from the original. It looks like it's in this version of Rebirth Part 2 or whatever. So I don't know, like, timeline wise how that fits with the original game. I know they're kind of making changes, so I don't know how that kind of plays into it, but it looks like it's going to be in it.
Yeah, see, that's what's tough because if memory serves me correctly, I think that was the very end of this one. If memory serves me correct, so that's why I said it was really difficult for me to know where exactly, given a timeline, because with the original, like you spent the majority of it in Midgar for the first disc, but then you branch out into the world and you actually get to explore and do like your fights as you're going along around the globe. Mm-hmm. So that's why it was really hard for me because when I saw what they did were doing with the remake, I was like, it just seems like they're doing it in a more linear geared fashion.
Yeah.
But it was still hard for me to know because I was like, well, Midgard was always kind of linear. It was always, you couldn't really sport with so much. But once you get out in the world, you can. So that's where I was kind of like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how they're going to really deal with that. Like, are they just going to be like, no, we're not going to go that route of how Final Fantasy VII original was and just stick with more of a Kingdom Hearts kind of approach? I didn't know, especially when they're breaking it up in parts. It just
Yeah,
confused me.
it is a little tricky.
Yeah,
So, all that being said, are
yeah.
you two guys going to pick it up day one, later on, or probably not at all?
Oh,
It'll
I'm not
definitely.
getting it.
I love it.
Okay.
But see, Star, you've been feeling that way with like Final Fantasy games in general, right? Like you don't really do that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's not a great game. I'm just saying I'm not getting it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Fair.
You're not, but you don't find interest in it. Is what I'm saying, right?
No, if it's not sci-fi enough for me, or at least grounded in some realism, not really. I like fantasy. Like, I mean, again, I like Zelda,
Dang.
but they
Well,
try to take it too serious with this one, man.
well, I was gonna say like it. The funny thing with Final Fantasy VII is that it doesn't really lean that heavy on fantasy as much. It's more towards science fiction, in my opinion. That's why I
Hmm.
liked it,
Yeah.
the original.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's more.
that's why I got heavily
Yeah.
criticized.
Yeah. I could see that. It's more like almost steampunky kind of, sort of. Not like full
Interesting.
Yeah, a little
steampunk
bit.
aesthetic, but like it kind of like in that genre of game or aesthetic or whatever.
Yeah.
BP, what about you? Day
Uh,
one, later, never.
definitely won't be a day one
Oh,
because I still haven't convinced myself to go back in the Final Fantasy remake, and I know that one of our homeboys, Star, is gonna roast me for that because he's always gotten on me about that. Like, I can't believe you didn't play that game, and I was like, hey, listen,
I
I
roast you
get it.
about that. That
You
still
do too.
blows me
Yeah.
away.
Yeah, I know, man, but you just don't understand, man. Like you playing the original like I did, and me just being used to the whole turn-based element, I just maybe I'm just too old school, man. Just don't pay me
Hey,
no mind.
you'll love Baldur's Gate, bro. If you like turn based, you'll love Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, listen, that's on the queue. That's still on the queue to grab. I'm for sure
I'm
getting
telling
it.
y'all, once it's crossplay, I'm letting y'all know. Well,
You
Okay.
better come up with the funds right then and there. Gotcha.
oh y'all better have it saved up. I don't want to hit nothing. So for me, it's definitely going to be a day one cop.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously.
Part one was a day one cop. I loved it. Definitely had its issues, but was a really enjoyable experience. And this one just seems to be bigger and better. So I'm definitely excited. So it'll be a day one cop.
Okay.
Okay.
Another big game that's coming out, which again, it's actually coming out early. It's coming out in March, if I'm not mistaken. Dragon's Dogma 2.
Nice. Another role playing game.
Yeah. And unfortunately, probably another one Star won't play because it's single player. But the first one, it's kind of a cult classic. It didn't, when it first came out, it kind of flew under a lot of people's radars, but it's been out for a long, long time. And as the years have gone by, people have actually picked it back up, and it gets a lot of praise, and people really rave about the game a lot. And I'm actually, I do want to play it before the sequel comes out because I never actually sat down and finished the whole thing. I always kind of drop off after an hour or two. But I heard once you kind of get into it and get past the introduction and everything, it really takes off. And so I really want to play it before the sequel comes out.
Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So, what about you, Star? What am I asking Star for? Why'd I even do that?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
It was
man.
just, yeah, I don't know. It was probably the part of my brain that kicked in. It was like, no, man, give him a chance. Nah,
Well,
my
BP,
bad. Just ignore that.
what about you?
I don't know. I never played the first one.
Here's a.
I'd be open. Huh?
I was gonna say here's a help piece of advice for you.
Okay.
It's on PlayStation Plus right now.
Oh man, why'd you say that, man? Come on.
It's on PlayStation Plus.
That's a dirty trick. Okay, so yeah,
Just say you don't have enough space on your hard drive, man.
I mean
And
that
that's
too,
a good
but
way to get by this.
but listen, if there's one thing that oversees that, it's free. I will make space, sir. So yeah, I don't mind checking it out just to see. I really would want to play the first one. I mean, do you think it's gonna be one of those things where I would have to play the first one? I'm pretty sure to do like a recap or something, right?
So actually, no, you do not have to play the first one. From what I'm hearing about the story, it kind of takes place in a parallel universe. So basically, in the first game, a dragon steals your heart, and you're going after it to try to reclaim your heart. It's pretty much the exact same setup, but it's a whole different story and a whole different world, basically, with new characters and stuff like that. So really, no, you don't have to play the first one to understand anything of what's going on in the sequel. I just
Gotcha.
I just kind of want to, you know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah.
Plus,
I'll have to give it a shot.
it'd be something to do until 2 comes out, especially if I play like right around the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I can go with that. So,
Well, this
I don't
will
want.
go ahead.
No, I was like, well, just in the interest of not leaving Star out, man. I got something for you, Star, that's coming out not next year, but later this year.
Yeah,
Uh,
so this year,
I
man.
know. I keep wanting. No, God, I'm still stuck in last year. Terrible. But no, I got something. You got something that's coming out pretty soon, man. That you can get into, man. That Princess Peach Showtime.
Oh God.
Hey, man, March 22, man.
Nintendo.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
It's Nintendo,
it's Nintendo.
man. And
I
again,
mean,
it's
come on.
doing something slightly different than what anyone else is
Yeah.
doing, so it might stand out. So I might.
Yeah, she's a
I might.
protagonist. She got her own
Yeah.
story. Yeah, man.
About time.
There you go.
Wow.
See, so you
Wait.
going? We can count on you to support her, right?
I would actually. Here's what I would do. I would buy it for my nephew and see if he likes it.
Nah, you got to play it.
Yeah, you got to play that, sir.
Man.
We need gaming moment, sir. That'd be your gaming moment right there.
I would watch them play, and that would be the moment I would report on.
Well, I got a multiplayer game for you, Star.
What's that?
Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. There you go.
I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Ooh, Jesus, you fell for it too. You fell right in that.
I guess you haven't been keeping up with the news going on with
He
that
fell
game.
right in that trap. That's messed up, kid. That's bro.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Star. I'll tell you what. If either A, it comes out on like PlayStation Plus or something, or B, somebody gets it for me, I'll play it with you. But I'm not buying that. I'm not buying it.
I'm about to say, curious to know who that somebody is. I'm not sure.
Hey, mark my words. Give it like 6 months, if to a year, it'll be on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus.
All right, words are marked. We will. How long do you think it'll take for it to show up on there?
6 months to a year. Probably
you said
more of
that.
a year.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah. No, you're fine. Actually, it might be less because this is going to have like a battle pass and like a store and all that garbage. So, because I'm just thinking of like Gotham Knights, and that went on Game Pass maybe a year or so after it came out, but that didn't have like stuff you could microtransactions. But this one, to my knowledge, from what they've shown off or what the leaks that have come out, it is going to have like a lot of microtransactions in it. So I could see this one coming out maybe closer to the 6 month range than the year range.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and mark that down. See if your prediction comes true. I'm with you, though. I think it will head there soon.
Yeah. I know something we're all interested in that we kind of talked about, I think, in the last episode, and that's going to be Black Myth Wukong.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's going to be the one, bro. I can't wait.
Which, it's interesting that Star said he's interested in it because it's a single player game. So I'm that's unusual for him.
Let me explain. There's going to be certain games that's going to make me go, wow, I have to play that. That's that game right there. That very first trailer that I ever saw, which I think was at the time was just their testing trailer. They just was testing the game, but yet released what they were working on. Even that little bit of just testing and gameplay, I was hooked. So I'm not going to not act like I'm not going to play the single player game. This is going to happen. Okay. So yeah.
Very interesting.
This is actually pushing some of the actual software of the current model on consoles. I'm not knocking other games. I think a lot of other games look great. But this one looks like they built this game because they say, hey, we got this power. Let's make the world look amazing. Let's make the boss move like they're actually real fluid characters. Like everything in this game was put into some type of art form. Like it just wasn't cookie cutter. It's amazing. So yeah, I'm playing it.
I really would love to understand your mind.
Why?
Because you'll like be interested in that, but then there's like so many other games that are like it that you just won't pay a second mind to.
Ghost of Tsushima, maybe close to this. I don't know anything else. I mean, what else is something you can suggest to me so I can look into playing?
I heard Lies of P is really, really good. I'm hearing a lot of praise from that game.
Is that based on the movie? No, that wasn't the movie name.
It's a Pinocchio game.
Oh, I'm thinking about the guy on the boat with the lion or the tiger, I think.
No.
Oh, you're talking about Life of Pi.
Life of Pi. There you go.
That was a good movie, man. That was a great movie,
man. Great philosophy behind it.
But BP, I think you're pretty excited for the game as well.
Of course, man. Of course. Like just from that gameplay they showed a while ago, it was just very intriguing because the way they presented it was like a passion project, which again, not to knock any passion projects out there when in their first inceptions and stuff like that, but it can always go either. It can always go either like, well, actually, let me back up. With the climate that we're in with the whole AAA titles and all these blockbuster, mega high budget games that we're used to, it's just nice to see something where it has this amount of care in it, but it doesn't really seem like there's this overblown attempt at, hey, AAA experience and amazing set pieces. No, it's just simply like gameplay focus. Everything looks tight and responsive as far as the way the characters look and control. And that's what has me just really excited about it because it just looks really good. It looks way better than you would expect based on what you heard about it, right? Like you heard what you hear about it doesn't match the level of how much you would hear about like a AAA title coming out. And so it's just refreshing because that's how I felt with me before I even looked at the video. I was just like, all right, let's see what's going on here. It might be a little nice indie game that could be appealing, but when I saw it, I was like, wait, you sure? You sure there was no big the studio behind this or something? Like, this is crazy. So yeah, I've always had that feeling about it, so that's why I'm super excited.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. The game looks amazing and I can't wait to actually play it this year.
Yes. And for those out there who haven't experienced, man, just at least seeing the gameplay of it, I'm gonna try to find some links of the video. I don't know if I'll be able to find the original one, but share some out there for y'all to check it out because y'all have to check it out. Matter of fact, just Google it or YouTube it or something.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out
for sure.
Something I am cautiously optimistic for is Star Wars Outlaws.
Oh,
okay. Wait, that's this year?
Yeah, according to this, or according to Google anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. All right. Well, let's talk about it because I don't really know that much about it other than just I'm curious to see where it goes because with Star Wars games, like outside of like the Jedi Fallen Order and stuff like that, Star Wars hadn't really had a necessarily great track record.
Yeah, it's you're definitely right. It definitely it's all over the place. Star Wars as a franchise, but and you throw into the mix the developer and it's Ubisoft.
Yeah.
And that also complicates things. But what little gameplay I did see, it looks interesting. And I'm one of the people, I'm not opposed to playing Star Wars and not being a Jedi or a Sith. Obviously, that's probably like some of the better experiences is using a lightsaber and everything like that. So I wouldn't be opposed to games like that. But it is always nice to see games come out in that universe where you play as different types of characters. In this case, a bounty hunter seems pretty interesting. So I'm gonna. It probably won't be something I pick up day one. It'll probably be something I keep an eye out on. Maybe wait for a good sale. Maybe even wait see if it comes like on Game Pass or something. But I'm keeping an eye on it.
Okay, that's pretty smart to do. Just keep an eye on it and see where it goes because it is Ubisoft, as you said. So, man, what would we like to see do the new Star Wars game? Like, what can y'all think of any developer y'all would like to see tackle that?
Anyone else?
Yeah, just like any studio that you can think of to mind.
Oh, that's my answer. Anyone else?
Oh. Other than Ubisoft, I guess EA too.
Oh, EA. No.
Oh, no.
No, wait. EA did Battlefront, didn't they?
Yeah.
I like Battlefront. Now, mind you, I don't own it, but I played it. It wasn't bad.
You mean the first one or the second one? You're talking about the first one.
Well, I played the first one. I don't think I played the second.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Well, the second one's bad.
I mean, maybe nowadays it's fine, but I know when it first came out, yeah, it was getting brutally
No.
reviewed.
That's what sparked the whole loot box controversy and got like
No.
legislators and stuff involved. Like there
That's
are
right,
other
yeah.
games had loot boxes, but Star Wars like one, it was like one of the biggest IPs in the world, Star Wars. So you mess with that franchise. And that was like the big catalyst that had a lot of people talking about it. Plus, the way they did it was just so pay to win. The way they did the loot boxes, so it was awful.
Mm.
So yeah, there you have it.
But that's a good question, BP. Obsidian, the people behind Fallout New Vegas,
Vegas, yeah, okay.
the Outer Worlds, Avowed, their newest game. I wouldn't mind seeing like someone like them, like a company that's rich in storytelling. I would love to see
Gotcha.
one of them kind of pick it up and tell a story in that universe.
Gotcha. Okay.
That or Naughty Dog in its prime. Because think of like
Ooh, yeah, that
Uncharted
would've
or
been
like Last of Us gameplay, but with Star
yeah.
Wars.
Oh, that would be really cool.
And the
That would
cinematic
really cool.
moments and like the set pieces and stuff like that.
Because they nail that.
Yeah.
That's something to definitely nail. So, oh man, I'm mad I never thought about that. Really good one. That's a good one, kid.
That'd be cool. I would like that, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? You know, I've heard decent things about that Avatar game that they just put out.
I didn't even hear decent, but hey, God bless you. You did. I mean, I'm not bad at that. I heard, oof. But no, well, you know, to be fair, I've heard some marks about it that were pretty, like some of the technical marvels in it. But I think as far as the story, what I heard was not the best. But
Yeah.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, I know something I'm looking forward to that neither of you guys are probably interested in at all.
All right, man, give us a shot. Well, give me a chance anyway.
It's
sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong with that one. You're not wrong. But it's Persona 3 Reload.
Wait, I like Persona games. We have another friend that likes Persona games. What do you mean, man? I am excited for it. I may not buy it, but if it's ever free, I'll play it.
All right.
Dang.
Yeah, so basically what this is actually a remake, which I always love. It's not a remaster or anything like that. It's a full-on remake because I think Persona 3 came out like many years ago, like the PSP or something, a really long time ago. So it looks and sounds incredible now, but it's a remake of Persona 3, which a lot of people love, and I've actually never played before because I more recently kind of got into Persona with Persona 5 when that came out a couple years ago. But I'm super excited, and again, Game Pass for the win because it's coming out to Game Pass day one. And funnily enough, that's also a game coming out next month.
That's crazy.
So it don't have long to wait for Persona 3 Reload.
Nice.
Well, okay. Well, I'm pretty sure you'll be telling us about that, right? And FYI, you know, I actually got Persona 5.
Have you played Persona 5 yet? Though?
Listen, we weren't going to get to that part. I just wanted you to be aware that I did pick up Persona 5.
I am happy you picked it up. That is honestly, it's one of my favorite games of all time. Probably in the top 5 up there with Baldur's Gate. So it's...
And since you raved about it so much, I was like, you know what? I'll go ahead and get it. Now, granted, it was on PlayStation Plus.
Okay. This man made it sound like he went to the store and bought it. Okay, all right.
No, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, let's just stick to the important factor here, and that is I picked it up. So I will be jumping in there because I'm trying to, that's one of my resolutions for this year is I really want to just jump in at least for a little bit on all these different games I have because I'm tired of having a backlog and not ever touching it.
Yeah,
you can get Persona 5 right now for $17.
I was like, I pick that up.
I would recommend getting Royal if that version is available.
That's not on sale.
Yeah. You just get way more content, and it adds and changes so much stuff. If you're gonna play Persona, please play Royal. It's such a phenomenal experience.
But $60.
It's worth every single penny. It's worth every single penny, bro. No, BP, that's a really good resolution. I'm actually doing that as well. And I'm trying to stick to that as well and try to get through this backlog, especially since we do have a little bit of a break in between a couple of games. I know we are getting some coming out beginning of the year,
Right.
but that's why I'm going to try to get through these back catalogs to get ready for them. So I'm really excited for it. I cannot wait. Another one I think we're all excited for, and I think Star, we can actually all play together. Or I don't know if it's all three of us, but I know at least two of us can.
You
And
got
that's
my hopes up.
Rise of the Ronin.
Oh,
That looks like that might be a 2-player. Is it possible to be more than 2-player?
It's a good question.
That is a phenomenal question that
Trying to look it up right now, real quick.
I don't know if they while you're looking it up, but it looks really, really good. I know definitely has co-op.
Supports up to 3 online players with PlayStation.
Nice.
8. There you go.
Okay.
That comes out March 22nd, looks like.
Yeah. Another game coming out at the beginning of the year.
Hey, man, this is crazy. It looks good, though. It really looks good.
Yeah. Yeah. I am excited about that one. So I can't wait to play with y'all. Pause. Actually, no pause.
You missed that earlier, actually, but no pause. We're not doing that. Okay.
No pause. Nah, no pause.
All right, well, cool. Well, cool.
But,
see you later, guys. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, that game looks really, really good.
Yeah, that's some of the screenshots right now, and I was thinking I was watching a movie. Like, oh no, this is the game. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So
yeah,
I'm gonna try to make sure we can all pick this up day one so we can play it, because I will definitely be playing this day one more than likely.
All right, I can get this
it's a
day
safe
one.
bet too. It's a safe bet. I mean, I'm definitely picking up day one.
Well, this time in perfectly with me having to do my gaming moment.
You said next show. This won't come out till March.
Dang it. Oh, crap. Huh?
So, yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of which, since, Star, I've been keeping in my head this whole time about some specific gaming moment I had. I actually got mauled by a bear in Red Dead Redemption 2. I just thought about this. Yeah. I don't know if y'all ever saw that movie, The Revenant.
Yes.
No,
actually, no. I think cocaine bear, but not Revenant.
Cocaine bear.
Well, cocaine bear is relevant in this case too. But yeah, just for those y'all out there who either seen Cocaine Bear or Revenant, yeah, that's what happened to me in Red Dead. and I had it coming. I deserved it because I thought I was big and bad and I could take down a bear head on. So there you have it.
Video games will make you think that. Just never think that in real life.
That's fair.
That's true.
Please do not try this home. Yep, really good.
Yeah, please don't.
Proud of you there, Star.
Yeah, man. PSAs, man.
Yeah, they're important, man. Knowing it's at the battle.
Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, that is so hilarious. The audience is not going to understand why this is funny to us right now. Inside joke. Sorry, you had to be there.
You don't want to be inside it, though.
Yeah, pause.
No pause.
All right, man. Let's get
so. The last one I really want to kind of touch on, unless you guys have some more you want to touch on, and this is actually another one. I'm hoping we can all play together. We'll have to see. It's going to be Helldivers 2. Don't know if y'all ever played the first one. It's a lot of fun, and I'm really excited a sequel got announced.
I was interested because of that. They had like a crazy trailer with it, right? For the Helldivers 2. It was kind of wasn't it like an enlistment type of trailer that you did or something? Yeah, that's what caught my eye. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'll be honest, full honest. I don't know anything about the gameplay, but that trailer got me hooked. Like, okay, I will at least give it a chance.
Yeah, I played the first one many, many years ago, and it was actually a lot of fun. They actually are changing up the gameplay a little bit. It used to be top down, kind of like a twin stick shooter. Now it's more of like a third person over the shoulder type shooter. Nice. But it's just like a hilarious, like fun game to play with friends. Cause like friendly fire is, I always get them mixed up. It's turned on. You can shoot your teammates basically.
I believe so, yes, that's right. If it's turned on.
So it's a lot of hilarious moments because it's just hectic because you're just like throwing waves of enemies attacking you, and like you're like throwing bombs and like grenades and like special abilities, and like of course if your friend's standing in the wrong place, he's gonna get blown up, and it's just a really good time. Now the reason why I say maybe we can play together, I think I'm planning on getting this. Probably, yeah. Actually,
Yeah. I mean, I caught all that when you got so excited about Friendly Fire. I already know where this is going.
I plan on getting it on Steam if I'm not mistaken. So I'll have to see if there's crossplay, hopefully with PlayStation. But I'm hoping that's something maybe we can look at playing together because the first one was a lot of fun. This one looks pretty good as well.
Okay, I'm looking at some of the actual gameplay, and it looks like what was the game that flopped? And not saying this game is gonna flop.
Dang.
Not saying that.
Okay.
Anthem. It reminds me of Anthem.
Oh, it's
Ooh.
wow.
Oh, God.
But it looks like
Man,
they
that's just
added
mean.
content.
That's
No,
mean, man.
it looks like they added content, so it's better than Anthem. So I'm looking forward to this.
Damn. I mean, I thought you were gonna go Outriders or something, but
I didn't play Outriders.
Outriders. That's a great game.
Eventually it was great.
It was.
No, look, be fair, we had our great moments in it. Like, I'm not going.
We did have a lot of good moments. They had a great
Yeah,
foundation. They had a great foundation. I'll say this. I would love to see Outriders 2 just build upon what they kind of had in the base game. And they could probably have a smash hit on their hands. It's just there's some tweaks they got to make.
I would say so. I need to go back in there, man, just to see like how much has changed. Because I've heard good things about some of the updates. Honestly, I just hadn't been back to check it out.
I think it actually got removed from Game Pass, if I'm not mistaken. I think maybe
did it? Oh man. Well, but I thought we owned it. Didn't we own it?
You didn't own it. Bought it. It came out.
I love how you do that out there. It's like you bought it, sir. I didn't.
Well, here's a moment where I'm. Maybe I should have bought it because it came out Game Pass day one, so I played it on Game Pass. But if I'm not mistaken, you actually purchased it.
Yeah, I did purchase it, man. Thank you for putting that out there again.
Hey, man, but now you own it, so now you can play it whenever.
Yeah, I mean,
you
buy my stuff apparently now, but
so.
It's not
to cut you off on reminiscing, but Helldivers does look pretty fun, man. I'm looking at more of the I wouldn't mind. It looks like they have up to 4 people on the screen playing together. Okay,
yeah, it's 4 players.
Yep. You're right.
Oh, so it's more like Monster Hunter and Anthem crossed in there type of thing.
This man threw Anthem in there too.
I mean, kind of. It's more of like mission. If the first one anyway was more of like mission based levels. I'm not too sure. This one's kind of gonna how it's gonna play out, but it was more mission based than like a big open world or just you kind of go and explore.
So they have like that competitiveness to it where the person who kills the most monsters or bugs wins that round type of thing. Like it seems like it can't be mindless. There has to be a purpose behind why you out there doing this. So hopefully there's some type of grading system or scoring system. Sorry.
But it just, I know the first one was just a lot of fun just by itself. So hopefully it'll kind of be similar to that. And it might have had like an unlock system. I can't remember, but it was a good time. So I'm hoping it has crossplay so we can actually play. Because like I said, I'm probably getting it on Steam, but we'll see.
Okay. Well,
I mean, I got Steam too. So,
that's going to be up to Microsoft if they want to make this crossplay.
Well, it's a Sony game.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. Well, I was going to blame Microsoft for something, so I'm still going to stick with Microsoft.
I knew it. That's why I was like, I got that vibe.
At least the first one was, because it was exclusive to Sony, and then it released on Steam like many years later. It's never been on Xbox, so I'm pretty sure it's like a Sony franchise.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. And you can't blame Microsoft.
not like how you think. I'm sure he'll find a way.
Yeah, I'll still find some way.
I believe it actually. I believe it.
All right. Well, anything else to add on to this topic?
I'm pretty tapped out, man. What y'all think?
Yeah, no, that was like the last big one I wanted to kind of talk about.
Okay.
Nice. So some good stuff to look forward to. So I'm happy about that.
2024. Ooh.
I guess
let me help you out with that, man. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I like excitement from anybody. I'm like, okay, well,
before we go, kind of still with the anticipated games, is there any surprise you guys would like to see come out this year? And it can be crazy. It can be GTA 6 comes out early this year.
No, that can take as much time as it needs.
Anything you would like to see?
Metro Prime, which was not announced at all. I have no clue what Nintendo's doing. They are missing the mark. Yeah, so that's why I would like to hear some news on Metroid.
All right. That's a good one. Yeah, it's been a while on that one, so that'd be good to hear something. BP.
I'm kind of torn because I was gonna go Ghost of Tsushima too, like any details or any information out that. But honestly, I'm gonna put that aside for just the Switch 2 because I'm hearing rumors that there could be some potential dates set for either. Oh God, I don't remember what it was. It's sometime in like the fourth quarter, I think. Sometime around that time. So
there was articles posted today where it was rumored to come out this year.
Yeah, so that would be, and I guess given that information, I don't know if it called it a surprise, but I would just want to be the surprise I want to see is to find out that it's going to be on par, like the power of it. This Switch 2 will be on par with maybe not exactly like PS5 or nothing like that, but somewhere closer to that,
At least like somewhat PS4, you know what I mean?
I would definitely say a little bit more powerful than PS4 for sure. Like maybe like more of a what's the one of the handhelds now that's pretty popular?
Steam Deck, or
is it? Well, was it? No, I wasn't Steam Deck. It was another one I was thinking about. ROG Allies, what it was?
Oh, yeah, I don't know any of those third-party ones. I'm sorry.
Nice. So I don't know, but maybe because I've heard those are pretty.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like a little bit along the line, maybe, or go back to the Steam Deck, maybe something like that. Maybe.
As long as Nintendo can make it affordable, I mean, it can be anything.
The rumored price I saw was $400.
I'm just looking forward to something because it's time.
Did you hear me or Star?
Dang it! I just think I lost network connection for a second because you were completely quiet. So that was me. I'm sorry, my bad.
What did I miss? He was asking you about like what? Go ahead.
Can you hear me, Star?
I can hear you now.
You said about it being affordable, and I was just saying the rumor I saw was that it's supposed to be $400.
Ooh.
Now again, rumor, so nothing set in stone. And granted, we don't know what the hardware will be, so if it justifies that $400 price point. But that I did see that earlier today.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I agree with BP. I would love to see Ghost, a sequel. But I think my surprise I would love to see one of two things. Either Kingdom Hearts 4, whether that's a release date or just more information, a trailer or something. Or alternatively, Persona 6. I was really hoping for a Persona 6 announcement at the Game Awards. They actually teased me very heavily. The people who make Persona, they are actually making a brand new IP that's coming out this year that I didn't even actually touch on. I'm thinking about it, which it does look interesting, and I'll probably definitely check it out. But it is not Persona 6, so I am hoping we get at least an announcement, finally a reveal of that this year. Fingers crossed.
Okay. All right. Definitely keep us posted on that then, because I'm curious about the new IP.
I will. I will.
Man. Yeah, man.
I guess depending on how you feel about the setting of Persona, you might like the new IP a little bit more, because Persona is more of like high school Japanese setting. This one is actually taking place in like a medieval fantasy world.
Medieval times fantasy does not, that does not capture my attention, but
okay, well,
I'm trying, man. I just,
all right, well,
kind of like
it on Persona 6, I guess.
Can I play as Martin Lawrence as a Black Knight? I mean, is that
that's hilarious, man. I like that movie though, so I ain't gonna.
That movie was amazing.
I love that movie. Kids caught us.
Oh wait, did he not see this movie? Is this gonna be another scheduled night that we all have to sit through this movie?
I'm pretty sure he hadn't seen it because he is too quiet.
Oh, maybe he dropped off because of networks.
No, I'm here.
Yeah, like I said, he has not seen it.
All right, what about Monty Python? We can make it based on that type of medieval book. No, no, kid. Okay. Moving
Well, I
on.
want to thank
moving on.
everybody for listening to us ramble. You know, again,
Yep.
we want to wish everybody a happy new year, 2024.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. It's like kids said. And as usual, I can't even say it right now. As usual, you guys can check us out at www.podpage.com/gamercredits. That's just going to be our central hub. It kind of shows you where you can find our episodes on all the different platforms. I'm still going to put all of our contact information in the show notes. We got our Discord up, so please feel free to drop in, guys, and give us some information on what you want to hear for the new topics or just any conversation you want to start up. Be great. I'm pretty sure kids frequently in Discord all the time. So
all the time.
Yeah, all the time. so yeah, like I said, just drop on in and just kind of touch bases with us. We love to hear from you guys. So
Absolutely.
let us know what you think. So anything you got, Star?
Oh no, man! Just saying, stay safe. Love y'all. Have a good night.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
I like it.
Class act like always. All right. Well, I'll let y'all later.
Let's get it.
Peace.
Peace. We would say it at the same time. Jesus Christ.